Everyone, I'm here to show you my mini album that I made. This is a 6x8 kaisercraft album, and I've got lots of goodies overflowing in here, and I use the July Kitaholic kits to embellish and use the papers and the cards and all those goodies that were in there. So check out the link below if you want to see what was in the kit, or if you're interested in joining the lovely kits, because you won't be disappointed. So in the inside I've got this map here of Sydney. And I got this from a diary, and it was just in the back with all these other maps, and I thought, oh, that's perfect, because I was trying to print one off the internet, but I wasn't having much success. So this is a postcard. I always like to pick up a postcard when we're out and about, and it's got a few things, obviously, that Sydney's known for. On the back, I used the watercolour paints that we got in the kit, some stickers, one of the cut-apart cards, some washi, and these cool little, what are they called? Button brads, maybe? Buttons, I don't know. There's stickers on the back and they're cool on the inside. Anyway, so I've made an insert here, and this is just cardboard covered with pattern paper. And sometimes I use the cardstock in the middle to make it just a bit stronger. Other times I used a manila folder, so it depended on what I grabbed for. So a nice 4x6 photo, sorry about the glare, of Anzac Bridge as we were coming in, some wood veneer, a doily, some of these cut apart. So in Kitaholic Kits you get a exclusive cut apart sheets and some cut apart labels, so it's awesome. And these stickers came in the kit. So over the back, as you can see, it's Daydreamer from kaisercraft paper, a lot of it, and cut aparts and whatnot. There's all these little cool embellishments to go with it. So this is just a filler. Big cut apart title, the enamel dot, some stickers, some washi that I've ripped in half so that it's a bit jagged. And these bows, I love these bows. I think I might need to find some more packets of them or something similar. So this is the first plastic insert we've got. I use this wood veneer here just all by itself. And tiny attached on here, this sticker, this label and washi and an enamel dot. It's not an enamel dot, that's a wood veneer. So I probably shouldn't need to tell you what everything is, because that's going to be a pretty boring video. So this page here, I just put a little bit over the back of that wood veneer, because obviously it's a word. I didn't want to cover it so you couldn't see it properly here. This is just a photo. There was, as we came into Darling Harbour, there was a packet of chips in the water, just empty packets, some rubbish. And I said to the boys, oh, it's a Smith fish. And they came running over to see what it was, and then a couple of minutes later they were laughing, thinking that when they got the joke that that packet of chips was what I was talking about. So just a little 5x7 insert, just the word Sydney, a few embellishments, and this is on the back of this lovely photo. Smiling away. They're a bit funny with their photos lately. Some will smile, some will be a bit tense, a bit funny, a bit silly, a bit sad. So I just take what I get, really. And so this page here is a doily that I've just cut to size and put it in there. And just a little bit of embellishment, not too much. And then on the back I've added, actually this pink doily was from my stash, just to cover the back. I didn't want the gold to clash with this colour. And nice little cut apart, I didn't do anything to that one. And nice little bit of embellishing. So it's heavily embellished, but not overly heavily, if it makes sense. A little 4x4 photo, and I've just cut down a page protector here, which is why it's a bit jagged. I don't know if you can see that, but it's not that bad that it matters, really. And on the back is a filler, and this is why it's overflowing. I didn't plan, I just printed my photos and put them in as I was going and what I felt like doing. So there's some filler pockets, there's some photos, whatnot. So this is a cool one. My son was so excited that we got to meet Koshi from Sunrise. Well, got to wave to him through the window anyway, and see the others on Sunrise as well. So that's just documenting his cool photo where he was so excited on the way. And then just some photos while we were there watching. So I've just cut them 2x2 and a 4x4 on that page there. So this one here is a insert of 4x4s, no it's not, of 4 3x4s, and I made this a little flip. So this is got some washi to hold these two cards together and hides my journaling. Just some pictures of the morning. We got there so early that not much was open yet, so it was a bit tricky just looking around and waiting. So we went to the park at Darling Harbour, and so again this is just a little filler one, but not using the whole pocket, not some pattern paper. You can see I've got the wood veneer and the piece of die cut on the front, and then two die cut, or a die cut and a sticker here. So you can't see each other on this other side too badly, and it looks really nice. So lots of wood veneer on this page, some journaling. So this is a little, oh, something stuck on it. A little 4x4 photo. I'm trying to get selfies, and my eldest son doesn't want them anymore, so he often hides, and this is the top of his head underneath his hoodie. I've just put those photos back to back with the little tabs that came in the kit, and just punched a hole. So you can see I've just punched a hole, and in it goes. So this is just a large photo. That's a 6x8 in a horizontal rather than a vertical, so it's really cool. That's one of the ferries, and that's us on the ferry. Excuse me. It's kind of a photo, a family photo. Two bottoms and backs of half of us, and two faces that you could kind of see. Not the best, but I thought it was quite funny off doing, because Patrick and I were not so thrilled about being on the boat, whereas these two were quite excited and looking at all the surroundings close up, whereas we were sitting down watching. So this is a little 2x2 little insert, and I've cut one row off so that it's not so thick, because I didn't have that many photos to fill both sides. And I've just put some bits and pieces in there, and I'll just give you a bit of a close-up. Whoop, it's overflowing. So some photos, a wood veneer, a little filler card with that bow, and that bow is just on the outside. This is a little cut apart that's smaller, but I've just got it floating in there. Another filler and some photos, and I've just washed down the side here on both sides so I could repunch the holes to make it fit into this album. The same kind of thing on the end. This wood veneer, you can, same on both sides, so that was really nice, and some ticket ephemera, which was really cool. So in that goes. Let me see if I can close it. I've just put the tickets in there from the ferry ride, and this is a little 4x6 insert with two little 2x2s and a 4x4. So we watched a street performer, and my boys were quite excited by what he was doing. And on the back, this is what they've just started doing. It's so funny. They try and put their hand up so that they look like they're holding the landmark that they're looking at. So it's quite funny. He's nowhere near holding it as such, but he's trying. And look at these faces. Cheeky, sad. Gosh. Gotta love them though, don't you? Certainly make the world fun. So this is a just a 6x8, and I've embellished straight on it. Two clouds, one's up on fun foam, a word and a sticker. This is the hotel that we stayed in. And this is one of the views of the hotel if you were standing in the restaurant. And just some thickers, a sticker and a wood veneer straight on there. I've just glued it straight on, and I've glued the photos back to back, straight on, punched the holes. Bob's your uncle. So I used this lovely vellum that we got in our kit, and this piece of the paper was a notebook that came at the hotel, and I thought, oh, that would be cool to add in, so that's how I've added it in. And this is the room number little card that they give you just so you don't forget what room you are in. Some wood veneer and a cut apart bit of journaling, bit of doodling, and we're done. And then on the back, I spent some time using my gel pen to colour in the gold on the back. So it is a little bit of a different gold, but it's still really effective rather than having just a plain and seeing the gold on the other side but not really effectively. So same thing on the back. I started with the notepad paper and embellished it nice and heavily, probably. So this photo here has been cut down. It would probably be maybe a 4 by, no, it can't be a 4 by 6. 6 by 8. So maybe that's, I don't know. How about we check with a ruler? I must have cut a photo down that I printed. So 5 1/4 by 6. So that's, yelch, that hurt. That fell right on my foot. So that's the 5 1/4 by 6, and I must have cut it off from a larger photo because you wouldn't be able to print it at that size. Just embellished it, washi again because I had to repunch the holes. And how did I get that size? Oh, I can see I've cut it down. It must have been a 5 by 7 photo, 5 by 7 pocket, and I've cut it down. So I've used this wood veneer tab, and this is a photo of one of my boys in the flight simulator. We didn't pay for the ride, but the guys let both of us in, let them both in to have a play with it, trying to do the hard sale on us, I guess. So I've just embellished on those photos. I think they're really cute. They're lovely photos. Even though you can't see their faces, I think it tells a very great story. I've just put in the flyer so that we can remember how expensive it was, but how fun it looked really cool. And so another photo, this is a 5 by 7 horizontal, and that's at Darling Harbour at night time. We took a nice photo. And this is a die cut ephemera piece out of the kit. And in the thickers we got dinner and dessert. Me and the boys went down to there's a mall attached to the hotel we stayed at. Got some dinner, some dumplings, some sushi, and then they took dessert back, which were chocolate covered fruit. So just embellished, kept the circle theme of the background. And these tickets are so nice. I've got so many left, even though I used so many. They're the Dear Lizzie, I believe, and they came in a box. There's quite a few different phrases, but they're really lovely, and they're stickers. So I've made a tag here. So when I was thinking about making a mini album, I searched around on YouTube and watched lots of videos of what I wanted to add, and I made myself a list and pretty much did all those things with this kit. So I've just cut in with manila folder the shape of it, and then I've covered it with pattern paper and decorated it. Added some twine, just knotted it so that it could stay in there. And so day 2, so obviously that was day 1, this is day 2, we only stayed 2 days. And to start, on the back, here's a photo. So my son, I told the boys the snowman was alive, and apparently they believed me a little bit, or enough to, well, maybe they didn't believe me, but they wanted to prove me wrong, and they went down to do it. And I took a photo. They had told me the day before they didn't want a photo with it, with the snowman, but I got one. Bit sneaky, but I got one. So here's a page protector with 2 4x6s. Lots of the ephemera. That's an ephemera frame. They're playing at the park, enjoying themselves nice and early while it was quiet. And then we explored the Queen Victoria building even more because we looked a little the day before. And they found this Hobby Co shop. It's got hobby trains and model things like that. But unfortunately, by the time we were there, it wasn't open. And then by the time we got back at the end of the day, it was closed. So they would love to have looked in there and spent some money in there, or a lot of money. But it wasn't to be. And Patrick is very into history. So he was very excited to read about the letter that the Queen had sent to Sydney that we can open much later. Oh, scrap piece of paper. Just what I would need still in my stash that I've got left, which is not very much. So this is let me just put that up a little. Oh, that didn't really help, did it? Goodness. I can't have the light off because it's so dark here. So I've just put a bit of washi and a word and then journaled around the side. I probably should have started that way so that the top wasn't upside down, but you could still read it, like, not a problem. And some 2 3x4s down there, just of the building. Look, my son's trying to hold the clock, and there's a huge gap between being able to do that. Even though in real life, but I know what they're trying to do. It's just a bit tricky to do that. So there's the Queen's Dogs Memorial, and use some stickers here to make this filler card and another filler card. But look under here, so you can see some washi and a cut apart. Ta-da! Leave a little sparkle wherever you go. Just something cute and interactive, because why not? Another photo. This one I took off the internet actually when I searched Queen Victoria building, and it's so beautiful. Put a title on it, put some embellishment on it, punched it and put it straight in there. Same with on the back here. This is the outside of the building. My boys were very fascinated. Even I am. I like that building. It's so pretty. So we brought some books, of course, because we're big book nuts, at Abby's Books, at the Abby's Bookshop. And I didn't grab a photo of the books we got, but I did keep the bag, and in it goes. It does overhang, but I don't mind. So this is a postcard that you got for free at the memorial, the war memorial, and we put it in there. And I've just done some journaling on the back. Here we were exploring Hyde Park when we found the memorial and some lovely fountains and gardens. And I said to the boys that HP standard for Harry Potter, which they believed for probably half a second until they realised that this garden would be much older than Harry Potter books and movies, so therefore it wouldn't be Harry Potter. And so just a lovely photo that I've washi taped to make a flip. Put a tab on it, and took some photos inside. Lovely, there's stars on the building, one for every soldier that went to the war. And then my son asked a question and we were looking. Just beautiful. I did the same on the back, so there's this really lovely photo of my boys with this background. That's the walkway into Hyde Park, and the words, this Hyde Park here, is right in front of them on the ground. And then a black and white photo of them sitting, the three of them sitting at the statue, the water fountain, a bit further up in Hyde Park, and embellished the back. And on we go. So I used this is not from the kit, this is from my stash. It was something that I wrote on my list to do, and it's a bit, I wasn't able to work out if it had a protector thing on it, even though it looks really like it does, because it's a bit cloudy. Forgot what word I was trying to say. I was going to say. So another photo, 5x7, had to recut the hole, so washi taped it. Put a bit of embellishment up the top with the cute little boys. And then this is of Oliver here standing with the bullets, as it's one of the statues that are in the grounds. Little bit of embellishment. So I didn't put any pattern paper on the back here. The photo had a white border, and I just thought that contrast there, that you can not see very well. So that contrast there on the side was a nice little, gave it a shadow, and you could see that the depth of texture without having to put pattern paper. So this is a little pocket. I just cut this, I cut this paper, it was 12 by 12 by 6, cut it by 6, excuse me, and just folded up the bottom. And I embellished, and chucked in these things. Stuck down the doily. I added a tab. But I added the Starbucks coffee holder that goes around your cup. I made this little embellishment. So these are the cut aparts. I need something on my hand. These are the cut apart circles. I used my 1-inch circle punch. Glued them together with a toothpick, and then put some thread around it. So that goes in there. And then I made, this is a tag that I've made out of the manila folder. And I originally punched a hole, but I've put on this ribbon, and I've put the photo of them eating, drinking their Starbucks. And then I told the story at the back of what we had, and that Patrick unfortunately had ordered a coffee that he did not like, because it's the first time he's had a coffee, and then he wasn't meant to have a coffee, and I don't drink coffee, so I didn't know what I was ordering, and he didn't like it anyway. We'll see when he's much older whether he ends up liking it or not. We will definitely see. Oh, put it in there, don't fall out though. So over it goes on the back of the pocket. Just put something on that sticker and the tab, and then use the thickers. We got 2 sets of thickers in the stash in this kit. Photo and a bit of pattern paper, a cut apart enamel dot. Why do I keep calling them enamel dots? Wood veneer. Best seat in town, because he's been carried. He was saying his legs were hurting a bit because, of course, it wasn't, it was just too much, but it wasn't. Anyway, then we went on to the Powerhouse Museum. So I've just put a map in here that can be flicked through here or taken out and looked at. And my youngest son, Oliver, he did the Sherlock Holmes activity. So there's some things in here that we filled out together. And there's just some photos of things that we did. So this gentleman spent a lot of time talking to the boys about the Mars rover and spaceships and all those things. So that was pretty cool. They were very excited. And then, whoops, stay in there. I filled myself. I thought that tab meant there was like journaling or something behind it. You'd think I'd done this years ago. I only did it a couple of weeks ago when I finished. So just journaling and embellishing. This is a photo collage. So I make my photos collaged in PicMonkey website. And I print with a selfie, or I go to Officeworks to print my photos. So this one's got the 3x4 photos. Sorry about the glare, gorgeous. And then space toilet. And the 2 tickets out of the 4 that we got, the adult one and the child one, just so you can compare it. And then on the back here, I've got the receipt. And I've just used the binder clip to click it on there. 2 little pieces of pattern paper that I've made into banners. And underneath there's another photo, some stickers and a cut apart. Another photo. And a filler card. Look at those beautiful bows. So over here some more photos. So there was a lot of photos at Powerhouse Museum because we were looking at stuff. I didn't know how I was going to use these bike ephemera when I got the kit, because I was thinking, I wanted to do this about Sydney, but then when I got to this page I was like, perfect. We're all sitting on the old penny farthing bike. Is that what they're called? And so on go the bikes. So some more photos. Here's a 4x6. Here once again you can see we're trying to take a selfie. Myself and Oliver are into it, but Patrick's hiding away. So I just wrote a bit of journaling about that. Put a tag on. Some not journaling, some wood veneer, some just the photos. Here's another tag. So that's overhanging, which is really cool. And then on the back. And I covered this side with washi. So just strips of washi to cover it to make it look like pattern paper. Oh, I did it on the front too. I just thought that was pattern paper before. I think I would know. So this, I've just cut down one of these 4x4 pattern pocket pages to do 2x3x4s, just something to break it up, and use that vellum there in the background. Got photos on the back. This is a bit cool. I took a photo of the kaleidoscope, which is inside glass, and this is the picture that I got. Another 6x8 photo, and that's just stuck in there straight in, which is why it's smaller than the page protector, because it's not got the space for the holes. And on the back, just a filler one. Well, not filler, some books. We were reading our books that we had brought. Lucky we brought them early in the morning while Dad was talking to someone he knows from work. They were playing a game in the hotel. We had dinner, and then we went out for a walk. We had dinner on the harbour here, so you can see we're sitting down and having a lovely dinner. And then we went for a walk across the bridge and just put some cut aparts. So just this little bit of a 3x4 cut apart that I've just punched holes and stuck right in there. And I've got a little photo. This is just of the little plaque that's at the Piermont Bridge that we walked over. So if any time one of my boys seen one of those plaques, we stopped to have a read. And unfortunately, while we were out, well, it was good, but it was bad at the same time. We found this really cool bookshop that was open, but it was only open for 15 minutes and then it was closed. So we got to read and buy one book, but unfortunately it was so big, so lovely, we would have loved to have lots more time. And the boys finally realised that this water fountain, one of the rows goes down and another row goes up, that it doesn't have water on that row, so that you can easily and safely go in and out. To end it, I've got another little insert that I've just made to size, put some pattern paper on, a photo and some journaling. Not journaling, it's a title, Sleep Tight Boys. And they were a bit surprised that I'd take a photo of them sleeping. I don't know why. I've done these things for many, many years. So we had buffet breakfast at the hotel, which is always a favourite. And driving home, we seen some parachuters. So I used all those house ephemera because we're going home. This one's up on fun foam. Just a nice banner here using the pattern paper. And I kept this one for that page. So thank you for watching, and if you want to see anything further closer up, I'll have some photos on my blog, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for watching.